Hey friend, welcome to Self-Transformed, a podcast redefining self-care through simple fitness, nutrition, and mindset habits. I'm your host, Emily Nichols, certified personal trainer, Whole30 coach, and Taco Tuesday enthusiast. Hey, I know the struggle is real when it comes to taking care of you. I too am a busy working mom who felt physically and emotionally drained until I took action on my own transformation journey. I finally found the solutions to feeling confident and living a healthy lifestyle that doesn't feel hard, and now I'm on a mission to equip you with sustainable tools to help transform your life from the inside out, guilt-free. Together, we will simplify your health and fitness into daily habits that don't feel like another thing on your long to-do list, but daily actions that light you up instead. So if you're ready to redefine self-care and step into your own self-transformation, then let's do this. Hey gang, welcome back to Habit Hack Thursday here on Self-Transformed. I tell you what, I have been having so much fun putting these episodes together for you. Quick little tips to help you start taking action, because you know I so strongly believe in all my programs there's always homework. On any of my free workshops there's always some type of action item, because it's one thing to just listen and be like, yes, I'm inspired, I'm motivated to do something, but it's another thing to actually do that. So I hope I'm inspiring you to take some action. So today's episode was inspired by Jessie Spano on Saved by the Bell. So I'm 40. If you're younger than me, you may not know what I'm talking about. But before we get into today's topic for Habit Hack Thursday, I am so excited. I just got off one of my one-on-one calls with last month's STU clients, one of my STU clients, and I'm just so proud of them and the progress they have made, those light bulb moments just like in the first week. I'm super, super proud of them. So I wanted to make sure that you know the next round of Self-Transform You starts on March 21st. I can't wait. This is my signature 4-week program. And like my client just told me, she goes, it's such a kinder way to think about habit formation and forming your own health plan, which I love the way she phrased that, because a lot of times we get so caught up and I'm like, I'm going to do this. And then we feel overwhelmed and we don't achieve those new habits we wanted to do in our lives in regards to our health. And then we just don't do anything. This is a lot more sustainable and a lot more kinder, like she said. So we'll go through week by week some habit strategies to help you build a health plan based on proven habit strategies, friends. This is not going to be just a 4-week program where you're like, oh, I lost weight, or like I'm moving my body now. Like, no, this is something you can go over and over and redo Self-Transform You to help you pivot as life changes. You know, we talked about that a few episodes back, like what to do when a season of life changes. I know I'm in a new season of life. It's March now. My kids are both back into their spring sports, so my schedule has pivoted. So I'm actually going back through the process of Self-Transform You to make sure my habits are in place and pivoting where I need to. So if you're interested in participating in the next round on March 21st, make sure to go to selftransformu, it's the letter U.com, and to reserve your spot. I only take a certain number of girls every month because I do a one-on-one call with every single one of them, and hashtag self-care. I got to make sure I have the capacity to do that, to give them 110% and my family 110%. And also you'll get those weekly pump-up texts from me as well. Okay, so selftransformu.com, or if you want to send me a text with any questions, feel free to sign up for those weekly pump-up texts that all my Self-Transform community gets at 773-904-2157. All right, gang, let's get into today's episode. Make sure you stay till the end to hear about the next free mini workshop coming up. So like I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, this topic has been inspired by Jessie Spano on Saved by the Bell. If you're like, I have no idea what I'm talking about, you're going to have to look this up on YouTube. If you're my age, say no more. You already know what I'm talking about. I'm so excited. I'm so scared. Someone even brought this up the other day, and I started Googling direct quotes from Jessie Spano during this scene in Saved by the Bell. So if you don't know, Jessie Spano is taking like caffeine pills. She's trying to learn this dance with all her girlfriends for this show or something, or this musical. I don't remember exactly what it was. She's studying to try to get into like an Ivy League college. She's trying to do all the things, and she finally says to Zach Morris, there's no time. There's just no time. There's never any time. And I'm wondering if you feel like Jessie Spano sometimes. You keep saying or even thinking, there's no time. There's just never any time. I know I have said that as well. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how to take more ownership of your time, starting with your calendar, okay? So when we think about our schedule, and I know sometimes when I'm filling out my planner for the week, I use a paper planner and I use my Google Calendar. I'm really trying to be more present with time blocking. If you may or may not know, I recently left my full-time job. I'm a full-time entrepreneur working for myself, which is really great, but I have to be really intentional with my time. And sometimes when I'm outlining everything on my calendar, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is just jam-packed. How am I going to find time to work out? Where am I going to make dinner at? Like, what am I going to do? I want to go walk the dog. It's getting nice out, but I ran out of time, and he's sitting there staring at me wanting to go, and I really wanted to go too, because it's a time where I either pray or listen to personal development and just get outside with the dog. But I'm wondering, when you look at your calendar, what did you put on your calendar and what was put on your calendar? Let me say that again. What did you put on your calendar and what was put on your calendar? So in other words, what are you saying yes or no to for your schedule? That comes down to boundaries. A lot of times we feel like we have to say yes, 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 yes to all of these things, all the things for the kids' school, for work, for this, for that. And there comes a time where you have to say no. And no in itself can be a single sentence, a no thank you, thanks for thinking of me. And in most cases, people are very forgiving and really don't care. Like, oh, okay. So, we need to learn some boundaries, and we need to change the way we think about time in our calendar. So the biggest habit hack I want to give for you today is changing your mindset around your calendar and your time. So setting boundaries and thinking of it this way: saying no to something means you get to say yes to something else. You may be saying no to serving on the PTA, so you can say yes to being able to be there every evening for your kids. Okay, it's all about setting boundaries and thinking about it differently versus jam-packing everything in your calendar. So this mindset habit hack, think back to Jessie Spano. I'm so excited. You guys, if you've never watched that, you have to YouTube it, or else you probably think I'm a weirdo like singing I'm so excited. You may not even know what that song is, but I digress. But we need to reframe the way we think about time in our calendar. Stop saying there's no time, there's never any time, like Jessie Spano. And instead say, what am I putting on my calendar? What was put on my calendar? How can I say no instead? Because ultimately, what happens is our health starts to suffer because of this mindset and the overcrowding of your calendar. And that's where fatigue starts to set in. Sometimes you feel resentful that you don't get to do the things you really like to do for yourself. And over time, that's just not great for you, for your mental health or your physical health. Okay, so change that mindset, take a cue from Jessie Spano, learn to say no, set some boundaries, and change the way you think about your time and your calendar. Okay, so like I mentioned, there's a couple of free workshops coming your way. I always do a free mini workshop in my free Facebook community. The girls in the group vote on what they want to talk about, and this is perfect timing because they want to talk about balance. And I actually titled the workshop, Balance is Not a Four-Letter Word, because a lot of times we think balance is just not attainable. But I feel like there is a way to do it in a way that is purposeful and meaningful to you. So we're going to be talking about there with obviously some habit hacks within that balance workshop. So you can join us at bit.ly/self-transformed-fam. There is a link in the show notes to join us, but this next free mini workshop is happening on Wednesday, March 9th at 12 p.m. Eastern. If you aren't able to join us live, No worries, girlfriend. You can watch the replay. And as always, I usually include some type of surprise, giveaway, discount code, some little gift for any of the folks that decide to watch and stick around to the end. And when I say a mini workshop, it's literally 15 minutes or less. Okay, that's it, because I know you're busy. This is quick. There'll be an action item, of course, and get you in, get you out. Okay, so next Wednesday, the 9th at 12 p.m. Eastern, come join us in the Facebook community. I've also set up a webinar every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. There's a link in the show notes for you as well. If you want to learn about the daily 5 habits, so keystone habits that would really make a big difference in your life, get you those small wins like we were talking about earlier in the show, and get you some success, some confidence to help you have sustainable habit change. So there is a link in the show notes every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's a recording of a webinar that I did, and there is a discount code, spoiler alert for sticking around this long, at the end of that webinar to get $10 off the Habits That Stick starter kit. The first step in working with me usually, because it is all about habit change and taking some action to make these new healthy habits stick in your life, and then going on to self-transform you to really dig into those healthy habits and making them stick with those habit strategies. Okay, all right, that's all I got for you all today. Go look up that Jessie Spano clip if you don't, from Saved by the Bell, if you don't know what I'm talking about. But I hope you take ownership of your calendar and your time. Change your mindset around the way you think about your calendar. And every time you say, I don't have enough time, there's never enough time, like Jessie did. Instead say, what did I put on my calendar and what was put on my calendar, and how am I going to set some boundaries moving forward? All right, gang, thanks for sticking around here for Habit Hack Thursday. I will see you all Monday again on the show or in the free Facebook community. Don't forget to join us next Wednesday, the 9th at 12 p.m. Eastern, where we can talk all about balance. I will see you then, friend. Hey girl, real quick, before you go, if you love today's show and know your girlfriends need to hear this message too, then grab a screenshot, post it to your Instagram stories, and tag me at EmilyNichols22, because the more mamas out there hearing this message, the more empowered we'll all feel to take care of ourselves so we can pour from a full cup. Or the number one way you can thank me for this podcast is to leave a rating and review in iTunes. That way, more mamas will find the show here too. Love you and appreciate you, girlfriends. See you next time.